Join the mission to rescue South Africa. The next broadcast will start shortly. Did you know the best run municipalities in South Africa are all governed by the DA? DA mayors are working hard to protect residents from bad governance and mismanagement by getting the basics right, delivering better services, and having zero tolerance for corruption. This is the DA difference. The next broadcast will start shortly. Follow us on social media for the latest in news and politics in South Africa. Like and follow our page on Facebook. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on anything. Be part of the conversation. Tell us what you think in the comment section. And please, like and share our videos with your friends and family. The next broadcast will start shortly. If you care about South Africa and want to make a positive difference, then join the DA. Visit our website at da.org.za for more information. Find out who represents you in your ward and district. Who are the DA mayors working for you in your town or city, and which MPs represent you and your causes in Parliament. On our website, you can learn more about our latest campaigns and how you can get involved. Join the Democratic Alliance to rescue South Africa. Become an activist, become a councillor, become a member of Parliament if you care about South Africa. Please visit donate.da.org.za. Donate to a cause you believe in. Donate to make a difference. Welcome to a broadcast of the Democratic Alliance. Did you know the Democratic Alliance is the stable anchor of the Government of National Unity? DA ministers and DA deputy ministers are getting things done with a special focus on job creation and economic growth, driving down the cost of living and placing the needs of the people first. Join the mission to rescue South Africa. The next broadcast will start shortly. Did you know the best run municipalities in South Africa are all governed by the DA? DA mayors are working hard to protect residents from bad governance and mismanagement by getting the basics right, delivering better services, and having zero tolerance for corruption. This is the DA difference. The next broadcast will start shortly. Follow us on social media for the latest in news and politics in South Africa. Like and follow our page on Facebook. Follow us on TikTok, Instagram, and X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell so that you don't miss out on anything. Be part of the conversation. Tell us what you think in the comment section. And please, like and share our videos with your friends and family. The next broadcast will start shortly. If you care about South Africa and want to make a positive difference, then join the DA. Visit our website at da.org.za for more information. Find out who represents you in your ward and district. Who are the DA mayors working for you in your town or city, and which MPs represent you and your causes in Parliament. On our website, you can learn more about our latest campaigns and how you can get involved. Join the Democratic Alliance to rescue South Africa. Become an activist, become a councillor, become a member of Parliament if you care about South Africa. Please visit donate.da.org.za. Donate to a cause you believe in. Donate to make a difference. Let's rescue South Africa. Join the DA, because the DA gets things done.
South Africa, today's budget was not just about money, but it was about your future. Mzansi Africa, molweni, sanbonani, goeie dag. My name is Luyo Lompiti, and I am live at Cape Town International Convention Center, where the Minister of Finance has just delivered the budget speech. Now, if you're watching this at home, please make sure to like and share this broadcast with your family and friends. What was interesting already off the bat, we've seen some great DA wins coming out of this particular budget. Now, to unpack this with us, we're joined by Dr. Mark Burke. Dr. Mark Burke, welcome. Thank you for joining us. How do you feel after this budget?
It's good to be with you. We are feeling cautiously optimistic, but we need to have a focus on getting the economy going. We need to have efficient spending, and if we do that, we'll be creating jobs for South Africans at home, wondering when life will improve for them.
Dr. Mark, we've noticed that there are key DA wins that came out of this budget. Can you take us through what those wins are?
There are a number of areas that look positive at the moment, and I'd want to chat about not just what those are, but what they mean. And what they mean for people at home is we'll now have an audit of ghost employees, which is people who do not exist but get paid every month, which means that people who do exist and need jobs and are able to provide services such as being doctors, nurses, teachers, are able to now get those jobs, and the corruption of these ghost employees will start getting chipped back at. At the same time, we'll have a spending review that looks across government departments, but perhaps most importantly, we didn't see any increases in value-added tax, personal income tax or corporate tax as part of this budget, which means life will not get more expensive for the benefit of government because of the budget speech today.
Mark, we have heard a lot as the DA, we've been saying that economic growth and jobs is at the forefront of our agenda. What do you think this budget says about that?
Well, one of the biggest line items in this budget, in fact the biggest growing line item, is infrastructure spending, where we're now set to spend over the next 3 years more than R1 trillion on infrastructure. That's really positive because in the short term we create jobs when we invest in infrastructure, and in the long term what we do is we create the environment for the private sector to be able to create opportunities. It's also really important to note that if we get this right, and it's a big if, things like investing in our rail network and infrastructure, and there's been so much historic corruption, so we need to focus on how it's going to be done. But if it's done right, we'll be able to almost triple the amount of passengers traveling on our rail network, and that's really positive in terms of the cost of living for people, as well as our productivity as a country of people getting to work efficiently.
Mark, this is Budget 3.0. What happens now? I think a lot of South Africans watching at home want to know, after this process, what follows next?
Well, technically, the minister has now proposed something in this budget, and I'd say it's probably more like Budget 1.3, and then it's still very similar. But practically what needs to happen now is we need to pass a report on the fiscal framework. That's the first step, if you will. And then 3 more bills have to be passed in Parliament before the end of July. So the clock's now ticking, but at least we've got something we can work with, and that likely the DA will be able to get behind.
Thank you so much. That is Dr. Mark Burke, the spokesperson on finance for the DA. Now, to further help us unpack the budget, we are joined by the national spokesperson of the Democratic Alliance, Karabo Kakao. Karabo, welcome to the DA's broadcast. The budget has been presented. What's your take?
Molo Khatebe. Our budget is one that we as the Democratic Alliance cautiously support, but we are very happy to see 2 particular highlights that we've spoken to. You'd know that the Democratic Alliance has maintained that at the heart of the budget we're supposed to see economic growth. We're supposed to see the expansion of job creation opportunities so that we can alleviate poverty, to see more South Africans being able to put food on the table for themselves and their families. And at the heart of realizing that is infrastructure development in the form of road transport, the network there, the rail network and water infrastructure, because these are at the heart of what makes business work, and that will see us realize the ultimate goal. So we're happy to see the R1 trillion rands investment there, and as we've maintained as the Democratic Alliance, this money must be used correctly, free from corruption, free from political manipulation, so that the people of the Republic of South Africa can benefit directly from it. The second thing that we've spoken about is being able to clamp down on wasteful programs in government, such as the payment of salaries to ghost employees that exist across municipalities, government entities and government departments. And we're happy that there is an identification of that, because we know that process audit recently alone showed us that at least 10% of their workforce do not work. We don't want to see this in any other government entity. But apart from ghost employees, we We know that there are also other government programs that really either underspend on their money, that must be shut down completely, or in cases where they really are important, they must be able to be revitalized. But we also know that there are a lot of fancy programs in government that end up taking money away from the frontline services of this country that we should be able to redirect. So these are opportunities that are there, and with the Democratic Alliance in the Government of National Unity, we're committed to making sure that these are realized and that ultimately the people of this country are happy.
Now, Karabo, the DA has been fighting for the most vulnerable people in society, and we've seen in this budget that there are key takeaways of the DA positives in this budget. Now, for people at home, particularly the most vulnerable people in our country, what are the wins that the DA has achieved in this budget for them?
Our people to the people of this republic is simple. The Democratic Alliance committed when we entered the Government of National Unity that under our watch, your money will be spent properly. Under our watch, your priorities will be at the center of government expenditure, at the center of government policy, and at the center of government service delivery. Making sure that when you open the taps, that there's water that comes out is something that we are interested in making sure is the daily reality for all South Africans. Making sure that if you are a car owner or if you're a business owner, when you drive across the streets and if you take your goods to produce, if you take your produce to market, that you drive on roads that work is a priority that the Democratic Alliance is committed to. That in provinces across this country where GBV is rife, where shelters are needed for GBV survivors, that in form of buildings that should be maintained or newly built, the Democratic Alliance is there to make sure that we meet your needs. This is a commitment of infrastructure development that we've made to the people of South Africa in line with our message to rescue South Africa, and we haven't abandoned that. But importantly, we have said to the people of South Africa that we want to make sure that you and your family are able to put food on the table every day. You shouldn't choose between breakfast, dinner and lunch. You should be able to have 3 meals a day. You should be able to take your kids to a school of your choosing and clothe your children whether it's summer or it's winter. Equally, it is important that when we look at the government's purse, that it is free of corruption, that we don't have thieves that are prioritizing their stomachs and their pockets in the form of cadres while you are suffering and you do not have service delivery. That is the commitment that the Democratic Alliance has made to South Africa, and in line with that, we wanted to make sure that what was tabled today will be cautiously guarded and implemented.
Thank you so much. That was Karabo Kakao, the DA National spokesperson. Now, it's quite clear from what we heard, it is about economic growth and jobs. The DA is fully committed to ensuring that we fight for ordinary South Africans, that South Africans are put at the forefront of South Africa's agenda. This broadcast was about showing that the DA indeed has an agenda for economic growth and jobs, and indeed showing that we will not stop until we have seen the growth for all South Africans in this country. Now, if you're watching this at home, this does not stop for you. Follow our social media apps. Follow us on YouTube. Follow us on Twitter, X, TikTok. Please do follow us. Your support means the world. It helps us and encourages us to continue the fight. Thank you so much if you're watching from home, from joining us in this live broadcast. My name is Luyo Lompiti, and I will see you soon.
Thanks for watching. Join the mission to rescue South Africa. Like and follow us on Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, and X. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell. Join the DA, because the DA gets things done.